Omniscient, omniscient, omniscient. Hi and welcome to the Ruben Tuesday. My name is Ruben and this is my review for Netflix's original Brazilian TV series, Omniscient. Omniscient is a city where citizens are monitored 24/7. A tech employee must outsmart her surveillance drone in order to investigate a murder. So there's 6 episodes. They're about 45 minutes to 50 minutes long and it's quite easy to watch. You should watch in subtitles in the original language, not the CCs, because the CCs have the descriptive audio which says doors opening or doors creaking or whatever sound effect that they're trying to describe. So if you need descriptive, it's there. But for me, I like to read the subtitles and listen to the original language because, as you know, you get the nuances of the acting and stuff. I did try watching in the dubbing, and for me it was terrible. I couldn't get over the voices that they have put for those characters, so I thought, nope, I'm sticking to the subtitles. I actually really enjoyed this series. It does pull a lot of threads from similar sci-fi films and TV series. It reminded me a little bit of Demolition Man. I half expected Stallone to pitch up and go, how do I use the 3 seashells?
He doesn't know how to use the 3 seashells.
It's a city that feels very realistic, like the very close future. In fact, I can imagine that there is some sort of city that's very close to this where everybody's being watched by Big Brother. Tiny little drones are everywhere and watching your every move. The storyline reminds me a little bit of Demolition Man, where your actions, your interactions are monitored and you can't do anything. You can't do a murder, death, kill.
MDK. Murder, death, kill,
or anything bad without being, seen or discovered. So there is no violence mostly. But where this story comes into its own is where obviously someone has circumnavigated those laws, and our protagonist, who works for the Omniscient company, has to find out because it's someone close to her, and so she wants to find out, and obviously they don't want anybody to find out that their super duper system doesn't work, and so we have this investigative story. I wasn't expecting it to go that way, and I'm glad it did, because you feel like you're on a heist every episode basically as you watch your protagonist, this female actress who I think is very good at her job. They've done a great job at getting us to know the character very quickly. At the same time, you feel like you're on this heist adventure with her as she tries to discover and circumnavigate the security protocols of this company. And so each episode is set up like a heist as you further storyline. There are side characters that kind of do their own thing. There was a couple of storylines that I didn't think needed to be in this. They could have just concentrated on the main protagonist, and I think that would have been fine. That was what I was interested in. There is some padding in the series as well. There is some sexual padding, which is bizarre. I don't mind if there's sex in a series if it furthers the plot and actually really helps develop your characters. And even then, unless you need to romanticize it, you can just cut, fade to black. But there did seem to be a lot of sex scenes in this show, which I thought was an interesting way to go. I was watching on my projector, and so when there's a naked lady and you see boobies, there's like boobie alert, because boobies are large on the screen. And I thought, okay, I'm just going to close my eyes. I don't need to see boobies that aren't my wife's. My wife. I have one wife, not wives. The filming, though, was very good. It felt like a series that's been around for a long time, and I think the actors as well feel like they've been acting together for ages. At no point did I feel that there was a weak link. The storyline is quite unique, even though it pulls on those science fiction threads similar. There's a Tom Cruise film out there that's also very similar to this, where it predicts the murders that might happen, and then you get arrested and taken to jail, bad jail. But actually, they do it well, and I think it works as a series, and I'm glad they didn't stretch it out. There's only 6 episodes, and I think Netflix are getting this right, where in the past they've done series and really kind of given 12 or 16 episodes or even longer. This one really contains it, so they don't draw it out for the most part. Even though there is sexual padding, I think for the most part it does its job well. The acting's good, the storyline's good. One of the negatives, though, I have to say, is the CG for the drones. At times, they look completely computer generated, and there are these little, flying sequences that are sometimes just on the computer screen, so you can allow it that. But when you see them flying, there are occasions when I'm just like, oh, that doesn't look real at all. There are a couple of scenes where you see the background and they look like computer generated people. So it feels like it was somewhat unfinished in certain places. That's my only real negativity. And apart from one minor thing where there was this one scene with probably the worst extras I've ever seen. There something traumatic had happened, and I think they were meant to be like medical staff or something, and they were in the background and like having this intense conversation, but it looked like they had nothing to do with the scene that was going on. It just looked like they were doing hand gestures and trying to be really dramatic, and it was, maybe it's not their fault and that's the way they were directed, but it just seemed really out of place. So those are my two negatives. Apart from that, this was a really interesting story, had a bit of a detective heist feel. The music was okay for the most part. It's filmed well, it's acted well, and I like this kind of new fresh story, even though it's pulled on those science fiction threads before. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about this. Was there anybody that stuck out to you? Did you like it? Had you seen the trailer? Were you excited to see this? Chat to me in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching this review. Got loads coming out this week. But remember, as always, live long and Tuesday.